What's up guys, it's me Caitlin from CCO Tech and welcome back to my channel. So, as a lot of you guys know, Apple has announced some of their new products that are going to be coming out in, the following weeks. And I am just extremely excited because, there's been some prices that have been very nice to hear. And the products that are coming out are just going to be awesome. So the first one we're going to talk about is the new iPad. Honestly, the price shocked me, but we'll talk about that last, just so you guys know what you're getting out of this price. Comes in 3 colors, and it does have the A13 Bionic chip, which, A13, A15 is the newest, so you're off by 2 chips. Now, this is obviously more for the budget, so it's gonna make it to where they can price it at a lower price. So it starts at 64 gigabytes of internal storage, and there also is, this multitasking mode that honestly would come in handy if you're trying to text someone while working on something online or something like that. And it is compatible with the first generation Apple Pencil, not the second generation, but the first generation. And it has a 10.2-inch Retina display. So it's not too small, not too big. It's honestly kind of like the perfect general size for an iPad. It does have True Tone, so it's able to adjust your screen lighting to whatever conditions you're in, just to avoid a lot of eye strains and making it more comfortable to look at. There is a 12 megapixel ultra-wide front-facing camera and an 8 megapixel wide back camera. And along with it being compatible with the first generation Apple Pencil, it also works with the smart keyboard. The smart keyboard, not the Magic Keyboard, but the smart one. So there are some compromises that Apple did make for this iPad, and we can definitely see it in some of these specs that I listed. There are so many other features that it does support that are awesome, but that would be a lot to list, and I'm trying to cover multiple products in this one video. But the price of this iPad is $329. Now that is less than the iPhone SE even. So you're getting a fresh a fresh iPad for $329. It may not have the newest Bionic chip or be compatible with the newest pencils and keyboards, but if you just need an iPad to use for maybe a younger child or something like that, then go ahead, get this one, because there's no reason to spend a lot of money for something that could break easily if it is handled with a lot of younger children. And the next thing Apple announced was the new iPad mini. This one was honestly really nice to see, and it's honestly just a mini iPad Pro, but obviously, that's kind of why it's called mini. But anyways, comes in 4 colors, has an A15 Bionic chip, so it has the newest chip, unlike the other iPad, but that one is a budget iPad, so this one is their mini. It's not budget, but it's definitely not super expensive. Has an 8.3-inch liquid Retina display, stereo speakers on the top and the bottom, and so when you're in landscape mode, those will be used to display the audio, and it's gonna sound great because stereo speakers, especially listening to music, it's gonna be a nice, enjoyable experience. And there is Touch ID on the power button, so you have Touch ID on the iPad and this iPad mini. And honestly, I feel like just having it on the power button is a great place to put it. Doesn't need to be anywhere else than that. It does have USB Type-C charge cable, so you're able to transfer data faster from your camera or any other device that is external trying to transfer data, and charging is just going to be faster than if you had a lightning cable. And this iPad mini supports Apple Pencil 2nd generation, unlike the other iPad that only supports 1st generation. And then there is a 12 megapixel wide selfie camera. And the price of this iPad is $499. Not anything over the top. I feel like that's a good price for all the things you're getting. And once again, they talked about all the features in detail and in depth in the showcase. So if you do want to go to that and check it out just to see more details, then feel free to do that, because my video is kind of just a brief overview of some of these devices. Next is something exciting, the iPhone 13. They still have the mini and obviously the iPhone 13, and it also has the A15 Bionic chip, has diagonal dual cameras. So all the people that were kind of going off of that leak with the diagonal camera module, they were looking at the right thing, because it is diagonal, and honestly I feel like that just makes it look cooler in general. Like, not even going off of why they chose that placement, it just looks cooler. I mean, I was kind of getting tired of just having two cameras stacked above and below each other. So this is a new change of pace. Comes in 5 colors, and for the iPhone 13, it has a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display, and the iPhone 13 mini has a 5.4 Super Retina XDR display. And it has a new sensor shift optical image stabilization. So when you're taking videos, pictures, and mainly videos, and you're moving your phone around, it's gonna be more stable regardless of how much moving around, because it kind of adjusts to whatever position your hand is in or the phone is in, so that video looks a lot more stable than it might have actually been when taking it. It also has a new cinematic mode, which is kind of like what you would see in movies. So I feel like this phone would also be kind of cool to just make like short films on. I feel like, because cinematic mode, it's able to zoom in and out of certain things, kind of adding certain effects to whatever video is being made. Sadly, there is no fingerprint sensor on the iPhone 13, even though they did have it on the iPad mini. Maybe, I mean, I'm thinking very far ahead here, but maybe the iPhone 14 could add a fingerprint sensor, just because I feel like having a fingerprint sensor and facial recognition is always a good duo, especially with people wearing masks these days. You'd have to pull down your mask to use Face ID, so having fingerprint sensor would be another way to unlock your phone without having to take down your mask, but also without having to type in your password anytime you want to get into your phone. And so the iPhone mini is once again $699, and the iPhone 13 is $799. There was no change in the price. And now we have the iPhone 13 Pro. There's the Pro, Pro Max, obviously. We can never leave out the Pro Max, because some people just like super big phones. I mean, I can't say super big, but 6.7 inches is quite large. It also has an A15 Bionic chip, but it does have a triple camera module. I mean, I wanted something different with the camera, but you can't really change much if you already have 3 separate camera units all on one phone. That would kind of be a lot, so I didn't expect much of a change in the actual position of the cameras, but they are larger from what I saw in the pictures. It's obviously going to be better to compare them face to face, but the picture did make the cameras look a lot larger. All the sizes stayed the same. The iPhone 13 Pro has a 6.1 Super Retina XDR display, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I keep almost saying 12. And the iPhone 13 Pro Max has a 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR display. I also forgot to mention that the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 Pros also do support 5G. I mean, as they should. All phones these days should support 5G. Something very exciting is that they both have smaller camera bezels. So it's a little narrower, so you have more outside space. So it's still 6.1, 6.7, whatever size, but it's gonna appear a little bit larger just because the camera bezel is slightly smaller, which it's an improvement, and improvements are always good. The iPhone 13 Pros have a feature called ProMotion, which is honestly super duper exciting because basically what it does, it adjusts how many hertz are being used for the refresh rate. So that allows it to conserve battery depending on how you're using the phone. When you're scrolling through different applications, then the refresh rate goes to 120. But if it's kind of just still, then it would lower to maybe like 10 hertz. And it just kind of goes up and down of the range to whatever you're doing on your phone. So 120 hertz is what you have, but it's obviously going to fluctuate depending on what you're doing on the phone. That is honestly a really great way to save battery while still having a very fast refresh rate on your phone. So that's very exciting, honestly. There is the telephoto wide and ultra wide camera lenses. They're 12 megapixels, and they have all those added features, and it also has cinematic mode, so you can film those cinematic shots. It is made out of stainless steel, so that's honestly going to be really durable to use. There is an IP68 water resistance, so we already know water resistance is on iPhones, but you can get it wet, you can drop it in like water. As long as it's not super deep, your phone is going to survive. And now, the internal storage goes up to 1 terabyte. You're going to have a very high storage option now, 1 terabyte. That's 1,000 gigabytes. I don't know what you do on your phone, but if you do need that, then it's gonna come in handy when you're storing all those files and all that stuff. And so, just like last year, the iPhone 13 Pro is $999, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max is $1,099. So, same price as last year, but you're gonna get some new features, a new look. Slightly new look, new colors, which I'm honestly a huge fan of the Sierra Blue. I don't know, the light, just the way how it's a lot lighter, it just seems, it's more appealing for me. So if I were to get the iPhone 13, which you'll have to stay tuned, then that's probably the color I would get. And so iPhone did also announce their Apple Watch Generation 7, which I'm not really into Apple Watches too much, but honestly, the Apple Fitness Plus is a great feature for people who want to work out and still use all those Apple features. And the larger display is honestly just nice as well. I feel like the Apple Watch, with it having a larger display, it's going to be a lot more functional in a way, because especially with that keyboard, it actually has a keyboard you can use instead of you having to swipe or do voice. And it's gonna be like a very mini phone on your wrist. Apple Watch already is that, but just because it's slightly larger, that's gonna help with you actually using it as a kind of phone. But yeah, these are all the products that I kind of wanted to go over. There's a lot more detail on each of them in the showcase that they did live stream. You can go to their website or you can go to YouTube and you'll find it there. There's a lot of exciting things that are going to be coming out in the next couple weeks from Apple, and I don't know, I'm just really happy with everything that is coming out. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.